So I am getting on a little early. I have a party going on right now. It is a New Year kickoff, and I am going to cook something that might pertain to some New Year resolutions that are pretty common. And I was supposed to get on at 6:30, but I figured I would start a few minutes earlier so that I can share this video in a few different ways. So first I'm going to share this video to, hey Kelsey, I'm going to share this video to the party that is going on currently. Sorry, I gotta like reach over to get to my computer. Okay, we're gonna share it. Give me 1 second and then we'll get started with dinner. All right, and then I'm also going to share this in my personal group, my personal page as well. For those that follow, I haven't had one in a little while, so I'll share on my timeline too. All right. Okay. We are shared. Okay, so I am doing something a little different from what I've done before, but similar. So if any of you know me, I love pasta, I love Italian food, one of my favorite foods, and I'm going to make spaghetti tonight, but it's going to be a veggie spaghetti. So they're pretty much, this entire dish is different forms of veggies and ways to put veggies together. So if you are following any kind of like New Year resolution of trying to lose weight or eat healthier or just prepare more veggies for your family, this will be a way that you can incorporate those things. So we're making a spaghetti, and it is, like I said, a veggie spaghetti. And the very first thing I'm going to do is chop up an onion and mushrooms to start off our dish. So actually, before I do that, let me turn the fire on, and I'm gonna put some olive oil in my rock crop to kind of heat up a little bit. And I have an onion that I've already cleaned off the top, and then I've cut in quarters. And I'm going to use a few different types of choppers tonight because I am doing pretty much a bunch of types of veggies, so I figured I'd show you a bunch of choppers to chop the veggies. And I use this almost every video if you follow my videos because it's great. Hey Brooke. And it's so easy to chop your onions or bell peppers or nuts, even like dice up fruit real fine. And so all you have to do is pump the handle. And like I said, I cut this onion in quarters so it can fit under the chopper. And you might have seen choppers like this that aren't Pampered Chef brand because they do have other brands. But I have heard from other customers, and you can see how much the dice is. I've heard from customers that they've had brands that weren't Pampered Chef and they didn't last as long. I've never used one, so I can't say myself what it's like, but I do know that the Pampered Chef brand lasts a very long time. My neighbors had hers for like 15 years, so it's really great. So we're chopping up that onion. I missed a few pieces. So I'm gonna chop the onion with the chopper so I can show you this one, but then I'll use the manual food processor next. So I chopped up that entire onion in about a minute, not very long, and it's diced very well. If you have family members that don't necessarily like to see the onions in there, definitely it chops it pretty small. Yes, you should get that for your mom. It'd be so easy to chop up the onions, and you can see, I'll try to get it out of the light. But you can see that they're diced really well. This is our flexible cutting mat. I'm just gonna bring this over here and dump it in our pot. I love that about our flexible cutting mats. It's a lot simpler to move your veggies to where you need them to be. And so that's what I love to do with the flexible cutting mats, is to bring my veggies to my pot, and then you can move it how you want. But a little disclaimer, when you wash these, don't use any type of scrubber on the sponge, because I did that without reading the instructions, and it peeled off some of the cute little designs, because on these flexible mats, they'll have little tips. There's normally 3 in a pack, and for this one, like, it tells you different types of knives and how to use the knife. It has like a little measuring section, so these are great. Because I'm making a veggie spaghetti, you need just, you don't want just tomatoes, you want some hearty vegetables in there. And so I'm actually going to use mushrooms as well. And I'm going to cut these, you can cut these with the chopper. I'll show you. And, oops, I missed a section, but you can see that it chops them just as small too. Hey Elise, I'm so glad you're joining. And so the chopper definitely chops these super small, but since I'm chopping all types of different veggies for my veggie spaghetti, I'm gonna show you different types of choppers. So we definitely can use that for our mushrooms. But I'm gonna use the manual food processor. Now, I know there's a lot of people who don't like mushrooms. I really don't eat mushrooms either, but I made a sauce not too long ago with mushrooms in it that like started off with mushrooms, and I didn't even taste them, and no one in my family knew they were there. So, point for Mom, because we got mushrooms in the sauce and all those nutrients that come with it, and no one knew. But I chopped them really fine. So I'm gonna chop them in the manual food processor, and so just like any other chopper processor, you have the blade and the cup itself, and we have our top one here. There's no cords, it's not electric at all. It's called manual food processor for a reason, because you manually process it. Now that might sound difficult, but it's really not hard. Pumping the handle, I mean, it takes a minute. I want to make sure these are like super fine. Now, let me put this over here. If I can show you just how small the pieces, oops, I'm making a mess, came out. When they're this fine and you cook them in your sauce, you don't even know that they're there, and so your family, your kids don't even know that they're there. I'll dump that in there real quick. I'm gonna cut up the rest of these. Now, someone asked me, like, what's the difference between this manual food processor versus using one of the powered ones by other brands? I own a Ninja. I love my Ninja. Excuse me while I stir this real quick. Okay. So I own a Ninja and I love it, but I feel like it's so powerful, it just purees everything. And when I use my manual food processor, I can have a little more control over that. So I use my Ninja for all types of things, especially when I really want to puree something good, like when I make like a shrimp dip or something that I don't want those chunks in there. I really just want it to almost be juiced. I use my Ninja all the time, but I love to use the manual food processor because I can control that. So if I want to make a guacamole, I can like cut everything in here while it's mixing. If I want to make a salsa, or if I just want things diced, then it works perfect. I think I had too many in there. We'll cut those after. But these mushrooms are going to be diced up real fine. Oh yes, Elise, my kiddo actually eats veggies very well. It's my husband that does not eat the veggies. And we are being tried right now because we're doing this special diet type thing that is only eating veggies, fruit, whole grains, and like nuts for 21 days. And let's just say it's been trying. So I'm trying different ways to eat all these vegetables to kind of change it up a bit. All right. I'm gonna bring you guys over here in just a second once I have all these things chopped up. So I have just 2 more mushrooms, then all my mushrooms will be chopped up. So in this veggie spaghetti, the sauce is all veggies, and the noodles are veggies, and the salad on the side will be veggies. So, surprise, it's gonna be super healthy. Hey, Haley. All right, so we have this all chopped up. So far I've showed you one of my choppers, which is the food chopper. It's just called food chopper, and we pump the handle. Then I just showed you my manual food processor, which processes things, mixes things, and then what's really great about that is it not only acts as a chopper itself, but then I think I have it in here. Yes. Say I made guacamole or salsa or something like that. When I'm done with it, I can pull the blade out and then it becomes a storage container as well. So if you do make something that's mixed and chopped, I mean, you save dishes, because then it becomes a storage container and easy to go. And this goes in the dishwasher, so do the pieces of the chopper. Goes right in the dishwasher, clean, easy, fast, and great. So that is the first part of our veggie spaghetti. I'm gonna bring you guys over here, because while that is sauteing a little bit, I'm actually making spaghetti squash, but my husband will not eat that. So I have some whole wheat spaghetti. So on this diet thing that we're doing, we can have whole grains, and so a whole wheat pasta is just, if you look at the ingredients, it says whole durum wheat flour. That's all it is wheat flour. I don't know how they bind it. I'm not asking. It's just, I can eat it. I'm gonna eat it. So this whole grain pasta, it's actually not that bad. And another way, at least, to hide veggies in your food, or like pasta or things like that, instead of using all water to make this pasta, I'm going to use vegetable broth. So that's one way you can hide some veggies in there. Or yesterday we tried a veggie pasta. It's made with all veggies, and it was good. Like, I might actually make this veggie pasta and then buy that instead of regular pasta from now on. So trying new things and kind of liking some of them. Also, if you've never eaten a Laura bar, those things are pretty legit. So try Laura bars, especially the peanut butter cookie one. I liked that one. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm putting some noodles in my micro cooker. If you are currently in the party that is going on, Angela's New Year kickoff, then you've seen some of the comments about the micro cookers, and they are incredible. This is the older version of it. Let me put some water in here real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is the older version of the micro cooker. This is the larger one, and kind of, sorry, the light's terrible in this direction because of my living room. But the newer version just has like a clearer top, and also it snaps better. And the more improved design, it snaps better on top. But what we're gonna do is I have pasta and I have my broth and water in here. I'm gonna put this in the microwave, and it's going to boil up and cook in there, and there's holes on top where the steam will come out. And so when it's done, and if there's any juices left over, this will also act as a strainer, and I can strain it out. And so the newer, improved design clamps a little better. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a gap here, but whenever you, it holds in that steam just a little bit better than what this one does. But these are so great too. I use mine all the time. And someone said in the party that they had like a set for at home and a set in their camper, and so use it everywhere. If you have college students, like, you can use it there. And And so, sorry, I thought I saw another, oh yes, yum, that I didn't hear about at least the veggie noodles until I was forced to look for something vegetable. So we're gonna put this for 5 minutes to start off. And we have some whole wheat noodles going on in the microwave, and I actually have spaghetti squash currently in the oven, and I'm gonna pull that out in a little while and show you all the goodness about that. And here we have our onion and some mushrooms that are just mixing up nice and lovely, sauteing that a little bit with some olive oil. And so we are next, we're going to put some garlic in our pot. So let me put y'all a little closer. And we're gonna use our garlic press. And if you've never used this before, it's very easy. You don't even have to peel the cloves of garlic. You just stick it right in the press and squeeze, and it just, the garlic comes right out. So simple. You pull the peel right out of there. I'm gonna put about 4 cloves of garlic in here. I can actually put, this one's tiny. We'll put 2 at a time. And it just comes right out. One of my favorite products, oops, I dropped that in there. My favorite products, it goes in the dishwasher right after, super easy. The majority of the things I'm showing you are dishwasher safe because that's just my life. It's a lot easier. And I love my dishwasher. If it dies, then I'm gonna get a new one. There's no way I'm going to go without it. All right, so we got all of our garlic out, and if anything gets stuck in there, normally the peel just comes out, but if it gets stuck a little bit, there's this little, I call it a Barbie brush that comes with it, and you can like pull out the peeling if needed. You can also use that brush to kind of scrape off the leftover garlic that was stuck. And then when you clean it, there's these little like bristles that fit perfectly in the holes. So if anything gets stuck in there, like if you rinse it out and something gets stuck, or you pull it out the dishwasher and it's still there, you can rinse it out using this little Barbie brush and it'll get it out really easy. So we got garlic in there, onion, mushrooms, smelling good. Again, not a super fan of mushrooms, but no one's even gonna be able to tell because they're chopped up so fine that you're just gonna get the goodness of the mushroom itself. Okay, we are going to add some tomato sauce. Well, not sauce, it's really just crushed tomatoes. And we're gonna open that with our, sorry my light is terrible. I say that like every video, but I haven't figured out how to fix that. We're gonna use our can opener. The pot I'm using, good question Trudy, because I forgot to say that one. The pot I'm using is the Dutch oven rock crock. And what's great about the rock crock, and I'll show it to you real quick. What's great about the rock crock, you can see I'm using it on the stove top right now, but it also can go on, it can go in the oven, under the broiler, it can go, some of them go on the grill, it can go in the dishwasher, it can go in the microwave. I've made cakes in the microwave with it. It can go in the fridge, so if you need to store something in it afterwards, it can go in the freezer. It's incredible. I love the rock crocks. Oh, and it even goes in a crock pot stand. So it can go from like sear your meat and then put it in the crock pot stand and then let it cook for hours. So absolutely love the rock crock. There's different sizes. That's the Dutch oven, which I believe is the 4-quart. So we're gonna open this with our can opener, and what's different about this, actually over Christmas, my family was here, and they were trying to use my can opener and they didn't quite understand. I'm gonna open this one, then explain how I did it. But I was telling them how what's great about Pampered Chef can openers are that they don't cut the can, they just unseal the can. So whenever I take the top off, there aren't any sharp edges because it just unsealed it, it didn't cut it. So, to show you exactly how I did that, I'll do that with this can here. This one may be a little more difficult too because it looks bent, but maybe I'll do it from underneath. We'll do it upside down. Instead of putting the can opener on the side to cut it like others, you put it right on top. You're gonna turn it to the right and it's gonna kind of catch onto the can. You'll keep turning the knob or whatever you want to call that. And then you'll feel it when it gets all the way around. The resistance of you turning it won't be as hard. And then you'll turn it the opposite way and it'll just pop off. Now there's what I call a little bird mouth, and there's a button right here that opens and closes the little bird mouth. You'll grasp the top of the lid with that and pull it right off. And it's that easy. So like, my dad was like, what is that thing, or how does that thing work? And then he was like, we might need one of those. And then it's great for kids too, because if they want to help in the kitchen, they can without cutting themselves. That's something that they can do. So we put our crushed tomatoes in here, and I'm just gonna kind of mix all this together. Now you could season this how you want. With our current 21-day thing that we're doing, we can't have sugar, so I'm not going to put sugar in here, but normally in the tomato paste or tomato saucy, whatever type of sauce, I would put sugar just because of the acidic taste to it, but we'll be fine, we'll live. But I am going to put some Italian seasoning, and this is Pampered Chef Italian seasoning. If you didn't know, we do make a lot of different seasonings and rubs, and there's some sauces that we make, and I'll put some salt and pepper in here. I think I had a few questions that I was missing so far. What, oh wait, no, I answered that one already. Okay, what pot am I using? Yep, the rock crock. So I'm gonna mix that up. We're gonna have this simmer some, and then I'm gonna chop up some more veggies that's going to go in here. I guess it should be like the substitute of whatever kind of meat you would use. We're gonna use zucchini and yellow squash. All right. And you know what, I'm gonna put a little onion powder. I know I put onions in there, but I'm Cajun at heart. I'd really end up putting like onions and garlic and all of that goodness over and over into my things. Okay, so we're gonna have this simmer. Oh, and if one thing I didn't show you, I'm using this, let's see if I can position this. I'm using this spoon rest that came out of my turntable. So this is our newer improved turntable. Our spoon rest fits right in there, and you can pull it out when you need it. And then our turntable turns side to side, and this inside part also comes out. I love it. Love it, love it. So we're gonna get a top for that. I'm actually gonna bring y'all back over here so that I can get the top and chop up our squash. Okay, we're gonna put that down. I heard our spaghetti noodles, so we're just gonna stir that up a little bit and check on it. It's looking good so far. I only did it for 5 minutes at first because you wanna kind of check on it and separate the noodles and add more liquid if you need to. And it's looking good so far. It needs just a little bit longer, probably about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna add a little more liquid. And I'll just add water there. And like I said, I use vegetable broth, but on a normal day, I usually put chicken broth in it, and chicken broth makes it taste really good. All right, we're going to have that going for 5 more minutes, and we are going to chop up our squash for the veggie pasta that we're making. Like I said, everything's pretty much veggie. If you eat the spaghetti squash with it, it's all veggies, and then if you eat the whole wheat pasta, then it's like some grains and veggies. Hey, Miss Nancy. So I have a zucchini, I have a yellow squash, and I'm gonna put some bell pepper in there as well. And so I'm going to use our simple slicer. I was going to show you that chopper. Over Christmas, my mom was here trying to find things in my kitchen, and she was like, gosh, how many choppers do you have? And I was like, well, I mean, you just can't stop at one because they all have different purposes. And they're all dishwasher safe, so they're easy to clean. So we're gonna use our simple slicer, and there are a few components to this. We have different numbers here in a lock position. I'm gonna put it all the way to 3 because I want it a little thicker. And this is a safety guard, which right at first, I'm not gonna need the safety guard, but you'll see how you'll need it a little bit later on if you wanted to use it. But this is like a mandolin slicer. We have a mandolin slicer, so it's a little different, but it pretty much serves the same purpose. And you just move it back and forth, and it cuts whatever you're trying to cut. And so you can see I have these nice little slices of my zucchini. And so when you get close, this is when you want the safety guard because you don't want to, you know, slice your fingers. So you can put your whatever you're using down, and you push the safety guard over it, and you just go back and forth with the safety guard so that you don't get your fingers cut. And it'll go all the way to the last little nub that you won't need. And so it cut our zucchini super fast, and I'm gonna keep those like that. I think I'm gonna keep them whole like this because once they start to cook down, they'll kind of wilt. And then we have our yellow squash. We'll cut that up. Again, I'm just gonna hold it, going back and forth, slicing it. I've used this for to make those like thin onion strings that you fry. Man, that's so good. So I've used it for that. I've used it for bell peppers and onions when I make fajitas. I've also like done potatoes, like potato chips, and then I've done like a little bit thicker potato and then sliced them after that to fry. I'm gonna just stop it there. So we have our squash. These bigger pieces I think I'll cut in half. So if you want it cut in half still, then you have your stack, and then you can just slice in half that way. And we'll go ahead and add this to our sauce. Again, using that flexible cutting mat to move things around. And this sauce, you're just going to cook down until the veggies are nice and soft. Alrighty. And then bell pepper. We're going to use our bell pepper in there as well. Cut the top off. If you wanted to make fajita peppers and you wanted to use a simple slicer, you can use what we have known as the scoop loop. I think my spaghetti squash is yelling at me. Sorry guys. My little safety feature pulled off my knobs sometimes. But I'd rather the knobs fall off than my kid turn the oven on. Okay, sorry. So we have, if we wanted to make fajitas with this, I'll show you. I use this thing called a scoop loop, and we'll use it in a second on the squash as well. But it helps scoop things out that you would normally, I guess, use a spoon for, but this makes it a lot simpler. And all you have to do is, like, I'm gonna use the larger side for this one, but you just have to push down and you twist, and it kind of, there's ridges on the edges, so it kind of cuts that section out. And then once you rinse, then the inside of your pepper is clean. And so there's little ridges on here, and there's the smaller side and the larger side. I also use this on avocados, and it's really great. And so if you wanted to make like fajita veggies, you could do the same thing, go back and forth, and make your small little sections. Or if you wanted to chop them, like I'm just gonna use them for I'm gonna put it back in my manual food processor. Are there any specific questions so far, or something that I used that I went through really quick that you want to see again? Please let me know. Ask questions along the way, because I am here to answer your questions. Oh, when I washed this earlier, I forgot to take off the sticker. Don't y'all hate stickers on veggies? I hate stickers on veggies. Hey T, oh T, I miss you so much. I had to go move to Houston and you moved to North Carolina, and I just miss you. All right, we're gonna chop this. And so we have some nice chopped peppers. I'm gonna put that in here too. Normally, whenever I put peppers in a spaghetti, I like brown the peppers with the onions and, you know, all of the real like Cajun way to do it. But I kind of want the peppers to just be softened with this because it is a veggie spaghetti. So it's like the extra veggie. So I kind of want that extra veggie in there. But you can cook this however you want. This is actually my first time cooking this. I feel like I do that a lot with my videos. It's like my first time cooking it, so you guys are always my guinea pigs. All right, so we have our sauce that is simmering. There is nothing else that I'm adding to that. And I'm just gonna make a quick salad that's gonna go with our spaghetti, and then I'll show you what I did with the spaghetti squash, and then we're gonna be done. It'll be that easy. So to make a salad, I am going to use another one of my choppers. It's called a quick slice. Let me get the names right. The slice, that was the simple slicer. This is the quick slice, yes. And so what I love about the quick slice is if you make, like if you prep salads for your week or whatever it may be, and you're gonna put tomatoes and cucumbers and whatever else in it, this helps you cut it really fast. And like I told you before, we're doing like this all veggie, fruit, whole grains and nuts type diet right now. It's helped with the prep of like when I want to roast veggies and things like that. All of my different choppers have really come in handy. And so I'm going to slice up these cucumbers, or this cucumber, really quickly with our quick slice. So I just peeled the cucumber using our serrated veggie peeler. See how fast that was? I'm gonna rinse it off. And I'm going to cut my cucumber to be about the size of this quick slice right here. Hey Craig, hey Ty. And I'm going to take the top section of the quick slice and I'm just going to rock it back and forth. And this way it gave me like nice slices. So then what I'll do is I'll show you what it's like the opposite way. I'm gonna put this right here. If I wanted the circle slices, then I'm gonna make my, well, it'll be half circle slices because I like them to be smaller. But I'll make my flat surface and I'll go the opposite way on the short end. And then I have a ton of smaller slices. And that fast, my entire cucumber is cut. So if like you make a lot of salads for whatever reason, or just other slice type veggies, it's perfect, absolutely perfect for that. Then we're gonna do a tomato. I'll cut the top off of this tomato here. This is a softer tomato, so hopefully it doesn't mush it too much. But if I want just the slices, then I will go one way. And I have these nice slices. Or if I want them to be diced, then I'll pull up those slices and put them the opposite way. And now I have, they're kind of falling through now, but now I have little dices. That fast, that easy, I love it. And then I just dump it right in my bowl. This is our classic classic batter bowl, and there's a lid to this bowl, so I love it. And there's a smaller version of it too. But I'm just gonna pour that in my bowl, and then I'm going to, I should have did the lettuce first. I just realized what I did. So actually, I'm not going to pour that in the bowl. I'm gonna put it back in my quick slice real quick, because we're gonna cut up some romaine lettuce using our salad chopper. This is something else that I featured in the party that we had a lot of like questions or just cool comments about, because it's a really cool product. Hey, Miss Mary. Oh, and Miss Mary got one of these for Christmas. I gave her one of these for Christmas, and it's really great. And I'm using it for salad today, but we use it for a lot of different things. And so I'm just going to cut off the bottom of our romaine lettuce there. And so you hold it similar to scissors, but a little backwards. You put your whole hand into this section, and then you will scissor the chop. There are 2 blades, so it's pretty sharp and it cuts a lot. But I'm gonna cut my lettuce into smaller pieces, and then I'm going to pretty much shred the lettuce by just chopping and going around the bowl. Now the reason why I like this classic batter bowl is because I can hold it on the handle. So that's great. And I'm just gonna chop this up real easy. And I use this to shred chicken all the time. I was going to grill chicken for you guys, but then I forgot to buy it at the store. So sorry, we didn't have any chicken. I was gonna show you how to shred it with this too, and then I forgot. I was gonna feed it to Carter, but I forgot to buy the chicken. So, but know that you can chop chicken with this thing, and you can just chop it however thin, well not thin, but small you like it. I also use this, like Carter loves spaghetti, but of course spaghetti is a messy meal for kids and toddlers especially, so I love to chop his food with this, like if we eat lo mein or he eats spaghetti. And you see that fast, like I've chopped this lettuce pretty small. And you can chop other things, like sometimes like I throw the like broccoli and whatever else in here, and I'll just chop away and it just shreds it all. So I love that about our salad choppers. And then you can rinse these off, throw them in the dishwasher, and you're good to go. Love that about it. All right, so we're gonna put our cucumbers and tomatoes back in there. And so now we have our salad, which is all different types of veggies, and I'm gonna also add a little bit of carrot in here. One more type of slicer or chopper. I promise this is my last one, but this is the veggie stripper, so it's a little bit different. And I wanted to show you this. I'm gonna slice up my carrot, but I wanted to show you this because if you don't like spaghetti squash, since I'm doing spaghetti squash with my veggie sauce, but if you don't like that and you want to use like zucchini noodles, you can use something like this to make zucchini noodles, and it's so much cheaper than buying the noodles already made in the grocery store. I mean, I've been in the produce section quite a bit over this last week, and it's just crazy how expensive it is to buy vegetables already made into noodles versus just buying the vegetable. Like, I think the zucchini was on sale for like $1 a pound or something, and the zucchini noodles, like just a small little section of zucchini noodles, were like $7. It was crazy. So I wanted to show you our veggie stripper, which is a simple way to make noodles, or to make like well, let me cut the bottom of this off, or to make your carrot like little shreds for salad. So you just, like I did with the other slicer, you just go back and forth, and it makes little shreds. So it's the veggie stripper, and you just go back and forth, and it's that easy. I do have another zucchini to show you how it makes zucchini noodles, but I'm not necessarily eating zucchini noodles. But our salad is done. And if you wanted like to make zucchini noodles, you would go with the long side and go side to side. I'm sure I'll eat zucchini noodles at some point, so I figured I would just shred it anyway. And you can see it makes some nice zucchini noodles. We also have a veggie spiralizer, and you like stick it, I don't own that one yet, but you like stick it inside and then you spiral the top, and it'll spiral noodles out of your veggies as well. So if you were trying to be extra healthy this new year, eat healthier things, I'm making a veggie spaghetti right now, and this can definitely be on your list. And we have some noodles. So those are all of my different choppers and slicers, and so tonight is a night of slicing and dicing. So we had our salad choppers, our dicer, our simple slicer, our quick slice, our food chopper, our manual food processor, all of those things, they all cut and diced our veggies. So the only thing I have left to show you is the actual spaghetti squash, and I'll move it right over here. I started the spaghetti squash before I started the video because it does take about 30 to 45 minutes to roast in the oven, and I didn't want y'all like just waiting around for spaghetti squash. So I went ahead and put it in before the video started. Let me get this. This is our pizza stone. If you own any of our stones, you would know how incredible they are. But when you roast vegetables, and I've been using it like every day this week, roasting all these vegetables that we've been eating, but when you roast vegetables, it really like pulls that moisture, but then it doesn't dry out the vegetable. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It just pulls that moisture to where it roasts, where it has that crisp on the outside, but it's still soft on the inside. When you, and we've roasted so far this week asparagus and sweet potatoes and carrots and Brussels sprouts and all different types of veggies. So I used it also for our spaghetti squash. And what I did with our spaghetti squash, and I have one that I didn't cook to show you, but let me move you. Let's see. I'm gonna move you right here. But when I first started with our spaghetti squash, I cut it in half. Then I used that scoop loop I was telling you about a little earlier. I used that to get all the seeds out. And I just used the larger side, just push down. Y'all, I love this scoop loop. And I'm just gonna I'm just dumping them in the garbage. It's my garbage underneath me. And I'm just gonna scoop all that out. You see now it's like cleaning it out. If you need to switch over to the smaller side to get more of like those little sections, that's easy too. And I just cleaned out the top of the spaghetti squash. And that was the scoop loop. This thing is like $5 or $6. I love it. So easy to use. And then once I had all of them clean, I stuck them on my stone, which you see here. And sorry, I have squash all over my hand. I've stuck them on the stone, and then I used our kitchen spritzer, which has also been a lifesaver this week and over the next however many days we have left of the 21. But I use this to spray olive oil on top. So you just pump the handle, and then once it builds pressure, you just spray, just like an aerosol, but you don't have all the extra preservatives and all of those things. I just have olive oil in here, and you can even infuse your oils, and that's great too. But I sprayed the top, I put salt and pepper, and I stuck it in the oven on 350, and hopefully it's cooked enough. But now that it's cooked, you're just gonna take your fork and kind of pull the squash out, and you'll see that it looks like spaghetti. That's why it's called spaghetti squash. And you pull the squash from, it's not that hot, I'll hold it for you, from the edges, and it'll create your spaghetti. And so this will be the substitute for noodles if you don't want, if you don't want to use pasta, or if you don't like other types of pasta or whatever it may be. You can make zucchini noodles like I just showed you, or you can make the spaghetti squash. And you just keep pulling it, and it makes, now you can eat it right in this little boat. It's like a little spaghetti squash boat if you want, or you can pull this out and put it onto a plate. But spaghetti squash is delicious, really. I love it. Blaine's not a fan of the texture, and that's why I made him the whole wheat noodles that we'll check in a second. But it really is, I think it's delicious. I don't care about the texture. I kind of like it a little extra crunchy. So I take it out right whenever it's roasted, and you can pull right from the sides. And if you didn't see that before, you have your spaghetti squash. I was kind of intimidated about spaghetti squash the first time I made it because I was like, how do you make the strings? But it's really simple. So we are going to bring you back over here for 1 or 2 more minutes, and we're gonna look at our pasta that we made and make sure it's ready. We did that in the microwave. So I've had like, I guess I'm really showing you veggie spaghetti multiple ways. I was gonna show you how I can drain the pasta, but it pretty much sucked up all of the water, so I don't need to drain it. That's also what's great about making the pasta in the microwave, is sometimes you don't even have to drain this. But I have whole wheat pasta. It's just pretty much whole wheat, all those grains, and it tastes great. I don't think it tastes that bad at all. But that'll be for Blaine because he does not eat. He doesn't eat this spaghetti squash. So to kind of recap, we made our veggie sauce, which I'm gonna check in just a second, and we made our whole wheat pasta here, and we put hidden veggies, guys, some vegetable broth to help cook it. Your family won't even know. We also have hidden veggies in the sauce. If you don't like mushrooms, they're in there, but you don't even know because they're so small. And then we had the spaghetti squash and our, what else? Oh, and our salad. So we have all of our veggies in different ways to make a delicious meal. I'm super excited to try it, and let's just look at our sauce right before we go. If you have questions, this is your time to ask them because we are almost to the end. I'm gonna make a plate and then I'll say goodbye. So ask your questions. Let me know if there's a specific product that I did not show you that you want to see. What did I do with my fork? We're gonna put our spaghetti squash on here. Ooh, this spaghetti squash is a little hotter than I thought it was. I normally show a dessert. I'm sorry I didn't show a dessert tonight, but I can't make the dessert and not be able to eat it. So we'll have to, after the 21 days, I'll make a dessert and put it up on my page or something. All right, so we have our spaghetti squash, and we'll check our sauce real quick. This actually smells really great. Oh, that's hot. I probably should have used something else to put that on. All right. We're gonna put this down. All right, so we have veggie spaghetti. I'm super excited to eat this because it smells really good. All the seasoning that's in there, it's really, you can smell it in the tomato sauce. It really smells good. Let me put this back on because it is getting hotter there. Okay, so if you are in the party that's going on, there are only a few days left to order to help out Angela receive those host rewards. And so that party ends on Saturday at midnight. And you can look through the party for the link or ask me for the link and I'll resend it, and they'll be on other posts later on. And if you're on my personal page or my Pampered Chef business page, thank you guys for watching. And if you would like to host your own party, there are so many rewards coming up that I can't even say them all because there's so many. So if you are interested in hosting your own party, it's so easy. You just invite friends, play along with the games, watch my live video if you want, encourage your friends to participate and win free and discounted stuff. It's that simple, and it's a lot of fun and I love doing it. And so if you are interested in any of those things and wanting to know the rewards that are coming up, just send me a private message or comment below or whatever it may be. If you have questions about warranties or products, something that you saw tonight, something you didn't see tonight, just ask away, and as soon as I see them, I will definitely answer. So if you guys watched tonight, or if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Or if you didn't see the replay and you're just jumping in, it was a more healthy night tonight with a veggie spaghetti and a salad. And so if you would like to try that out, just go ahead and rewatch. And thank y'all for joining, and I'll see y'all next time. Good night.